Hello, friends, and welcome to the most glorious of events, the Movie Mavericks podcast. This outstanding program is hosted by two fine gentlemen, Jason and Trevor. Now make it so.
MovieMavericks.com.
Hey, now everybody, welcome to episode 418 of the Movie Mavericks podcast. I'm Trevor Anderson. Send you over to Jason Rugard. He's got a rundown for us.
On tonight's episode, we are going to be discussing Amazon Prime's latest comedy starring Mark Wahlberg, Balls Up, as well as Chris Pratt's Amazon Prime film titled Mercy. A couple of Amazon hits there, or lack thereof. And Kevin James's independent feature, Solo Mio. It's not a comedy that you're used to. It's more of a romantic deal. We'll get into that. And the trailers for, what are we talking about trailer-wise today? I've already lost my way with
Street Fighter.
Oh, how could I forget Street Fighter? Yes, of course.
How could you? Yes.
We got Street Fighter. We got Resident Evil. My goodness. I mean, these are two video game movies. No wonder they're slipping my mind. And lastly, we have Motor City, the Alan Richardson action drama independent film we'll talk about. This has been sitting on the shelf for a while. As you were saying, it was made last year. Didn't come out for a year, so I don't know if that's going to be a good sign or not. But let's get into trivia, as we always do at the beginning.
All right. Let's see. In the action movie Face Off, Sean Archer, is that his name?
Yeah,
Sean Archer.
Yep.
Is after Castor Troy because he wants to avenge the death of his son. It's too dark. I'm old and I can't read. There we go.
Put them cheaters on.
What is the name of his son? Eric, Sean, Timmy, or Michael? I have no idea. I don't remember the name of his son.
Yeah, I thought it was Sean.
I couldn't even.
But that's too weird that it would be the same. So I think it's Michael. Weird? Yeah.
Because you can't really be a Sean Jr.
No.
That doesn't work.
It'd be Michael.
All right, we'll try Michael. Oh, yes. It was Michael.
All right. That's not bad. I mean, Face Off. One of my favorites that you always made up such a great fucking logical point about. Yeah, they changed their faces, but they didn't change bodies. And I'm like, oh yeah, I forgot about that. I know. They cast two people with two completely different bodies, structures, and then you pretend like they're each other. It's great, actually, because it's so silly it works. It's unbelievable that Cage and Travolta never crossed paths again during that direct-to-video era that they both were in, where they're making so many films. When they want to do a sequel to that, I think. I'm sure they do. I'm sure they both could use the payday at this point. I've heard rumblings of a sequel, so. Not at this age. I don't know what that would be like. I just watched that John Travolta, Bruce Willis film, Paradise City. Did you ever see that lump of shit? No. Oh, my God. First of all, Bruce Willis is in it for maybe 3 minutes of screen time, and they sell it like he's over the title. Well, yeah. And Travolta actually isn't bad in it, but man. I like Travolta, especially the older Travolta. He's pretty good. He still actually is putting in work in these movies, like Cage did. They're not phoning it in. Yeah, right? He's as good as Cage. He's as good as Willis was good up to the end, really. I mean, well, Willis was, I guess, phoning in a lot of stuff, too, and seemed irritated to be on set, whereas Cage and Travolta are really putting in performances. I told you recently I watched that movie Gunslingers, that Western with Stephen Dorff and Nicolas Cage. Actually not a bad little movie. A lot of 80s people pop up in it that you're like, hey, I remember that guy. I remember this guy. Cool story about a bunch of famous outlaws that are all presumed dead and they're living in this town. And Cage, out of all a career full of weird performances, that might be his strangest performance. And he's a side character. It's bizarre. It's kind of funny. It's worth watching, though, just for his performance. If you get a chance, it's on, I think, Tubi right now or Prime. It was just on Netflix, but I think it left. Check it out. Highly recommend the Cage performance, at least, in that movie. And Stephen Dorff, who has been in more direct-to-DVD movies than fucking Travolta and Cage combined at this point. But he's solid, too. Well, he never made it, so. But he is always putting in quality work for what he does. He's good. Great. I like him, but he never was a name, really, for being honest. They tried to headline him a few times, SFW. But it never worked. I mean, I think people know him, but he's just not a draw, You wouldn't go to the movies to see a Stephen Dorff movie. No. But he was in theatrical release stuff. I mean, Judgment Night. I mean, there was a time when he was in stuff.
A ton of stuff, yeah.
And Power of One is a fantastic movie. I think that was highly overlooked when he was a kid.
Mm-hmm.
All right, you got another trivia question for me? I'm on a roll.
Sure. What actor plays Big Harold in the 1986 Vietnam War film
Forrest Whitaker.
Platoon? Well, that wasn't even very fun. Yeah.
I'm a big Platoon fan. I watched that many, many times, and recently watched the behind-the-scenes making-of called Inferno on YouTube. It's fantastic for anyone out there that wants to see the boot camp shit that they went through and the bonding, and just to get glimpses of a young Forrest Whitaker, Johnny Depp, and Charlie Sheen, obviously. Mm-hmm. In fact, Forrest Whitaker lost 30 pounds on a hike they went on, and Oliver Stone was so upset because he needed him to be big. He's fucking playing Big Harold, you know? So he was like, he forbid him to, he had to go back and eat and whatnot. So, interesting.
Well, that's worth it.
All right, give me one more if you can.
All right. We got The Lady from Shanghai was adapted from a novel titled If I Die Before I Wake. Who wrote this novel? We got Orson Welles, Sherwood King, Jim Thompson, or Ward Green.
I mean, as confident as I was in Forrest Whitaker being Big Harold, I have no fucking clue. I'm going to go with Ward Green because it just sounds like a color of a paint that you'd pick for your house. I think we're going to paint the house Ward Green.
No.
Cocksucker.
It was Sherwood King.
Of course it was.
So
it was the only hit Sherwood King ever had in his life.
I don't even know who that is.
Well, he lives on by us mentioning him. So, for all the Sherwood Kings fans out there that are listening to our podcast, you know, your boy has been mentioned. Let's briefly talk about the box office here. Surprising box office results for the Mother's Day weekend, where The Devil Wears Prada 2 took the top spot above Mortal Kombat 2, which was pushed back from its original October release date of 2025 into this prime May slot in the hopes that it would set off huge grosses and kick this franchise off right, because the first installment was released during peak COVID times where it had a day-and-date release with HBO Max, so it didn't really capitalize on its profitability, I guess, or its potential at the box office. Now with part 2 underperforming, let's call it what it is, it was projected to open up at 50, that dropped down to 40, it totaled out at 38, which is close enough to 40, but the worldwide gross of roughly 61 million is does not bode well for the longevity of this franchise. I've heard good word of mouth, but if you extrapolate this out, we could be looking at a final worldwide gross of under 200 million, which would not be what would spark another expensive installment.
Yeah, they need that worldwide stuff, especially for these types of movies like this, where you're kind of banking on that a little bit, you know.
It's particularly when
action movies, supposedly, they're supposed to do well overseas, typically.
And you look at this and you wonder if there's a little bit of animosity, like an American studio and filmmakers and actors, for the most part, are going to be taking this over and doing it. I don't want to say a whitewashed version, but it's not an Asian-produced version, and this was, beloved in Asian countries. And didn't they already do like a Jackie Chan version when we were young? You remember City Hunter? Where they did that was Street Fighter. They were knocking that off with Gary Daniels and Jackie Chan dressed up. But those countries embraced this game and this property, and it's strange that the 1995 versions.
Well, so did we. I mean, so did the U.S.
But I thought they were more popular
so probably
abroad
the rest of the world
than they would be here.
I doubt it. Mortal Kombat?
I thought it was like a worldwide property. I didn't think it was just the U.S. I thought this was...
Oh, for sure. It's a worldwide property, yeah, but... I mean, I would say it was really huge here. I mean, you remember the commercials, obviously.
Oh, yeah, obviously.
It was huge. We would go play Street Fighter, of course, but then when Mortal Kombat came out, it was like, holy crap, right?
It was the evolution, right? It was going from cartoony to realism.
It wasn't just an evolution. Yeah, it was bigger. It was like a big step, big difference. You got blood, you had fatalities. It's crazy.
But this is not, like I said, if you're going to have a situation where you're positioning yourself as the premier video game movie of the year, especially with Street Fighter coming out in October. This has to be worrisome.
Well, did they? Was it just all from the first one? Annihilation is better than the original, right?
Ooh, I don't. You're saying Annihilation is better than the 2021 version? Have you watched Annihilation recently?
Well, no. I'm sure that's true as well. But I mean, from the original, I'm talking comparing sequels here.
Oh, yeah. No, you're talking about money-wise. Yeah, I see what you're saying. So adjusted.
Oh, money-wise, I'm not sure about money-wise because even back then, I don't know. It would have been such a different time. I don't know if you can compare, but I would say that like word of mouth for the first one, even though the first one was, big, it was Mortal Kombat, but everyone likes Annihilation better. It is a better movie than the original Mortal Kombat. And if that's the case here, I don't know. Are people just not going to discover that until they're just going to wait, right?
Wait a minute. I'm blown away. You think Annihilation is better than the first Mortal Kombat movie?
Oh, it is, easily.
Wait a minute. The 97 one with Brian Thompson? No fucking...
Yes,
Bro, are you kidding me? I never knew this about you. I feel like I discovered an unknown fucking fact about you after all these years. And you think this is a common held thought? I've never known anyone that thought this. I thought the Annihilation is god-awful. I can't even get through it. I saw it in the theater. It's one of the rare movies I walked out of in a theater. And I was 18. I was so fucking disheartened. I can't believe... I saw the first Mortal Kombat 3 times in a theater. I fucking loved that one. I still think that Paul Anderson one is Paul W.S. Anderson, of course, is fantastic. Right. And that second one feels like the fucking knockoff that's the television show. The Daniel Bernhardt television show.
It's the second one is easier, I think, to watch. But
wow. Okay. All right. Well, fair. Everyone's got their opinions. Go back. I'll let you have that. But
I mean, they're both good. I'm not trying to say the first one's bad. I was just trying to.
Well, I'm saying the second one is outright just terrible. I can't believe you like that movie. Honestly, I've never been able to get through it to this day. It comes on, and I love the first 5 minutes, and then it proclaims itself to be terrible immediately. Some movies hide that they're terrible for a while. That movie, it's like the first 5 minutes, you're like, holy shit, what's going on in this movie? Which, I guess that's a perfect segue into our reviews, because that's exactly how I felt about the Balls Up movie. This Mark Wahlberg, Paul Hauser, Amazon film with the Farley brothers. Did you get the same vibe? Like, this thing started off very good. The first scene in the boardroom, I was laughing out loud. Mm-hmm. I thought, great, we're back. Like, this is the kind of shit I used to love. Like, I thought that it was kind of raunchy. It was unwoke. It was, they're kind of pointing fingers at themselves and announcing that they're going to be here to shake things up. And then it fucking falls apart quickly. And by the end of the first act, I'm pretty much tuned out and don't give a shit about what's going on with these characters. I don't care about them. I feel that they were actually too old to be cast in those roles. I feel like you needed a younger group of a couple of guys that would have been behaving like this. It was embarrassing. Big letdown here, swing and a miss, and a concept that maybe on paper was well written or executed, but in the final form, really just one of the big letdowns for me so far this year, because I was looking forward to this one based on the trailer. What would you think here? Did you find any amusement out of this, like I did in the first few minutes, or did you find this to be... What was your thoughts? I mean,
it has its moments of funniness even throughout it towards,
You thought it sustained
as they're
it?
Going on their journey.
Yeah.
But it's haphazard. It doesn't really make a lot of sense. The characters aren't likable. In fact, you kind of hate them after a while. So, I don't know. It doesn't work on the sense of like a planes, trains, and automobiles type thing, which they're trying to do.
For sure.
Clearly, they're trying to do that. Yeah, because they have these two guys who are opposite, and they have so many moments where they have, those planes, trains, and automobiles scenes where they're like, oh, I'm just not good at this. And they're like realizing their faults. But then they just go right back to being themselves, and then they'll have the moment again. It's just, it's poorly conceived, not very well put together, and I don't get the movie. It doesn't make a lot of sense. They just kind of wander around in the forest for a while. It doesn't really make any sense.
Well, even the whole thing with Benjamin Bratt's character falling off the wagon wasn't. I think that could be funny in theory, but like it didn't really matter. So
it doesn't do anything. I know. Well, they go see what's the guy who's the dictator guy. He's not a dictator, but he's the head of the army or whatever. Yeah. What the hell does that guy do? There's no point to any of it. They just kind of meander around. Well, right?
Even the inciting incident of the guy getting shit-faced and thinking that the mascot was talking shit. That's a funny thing to say in a pitch meeting. That's not funny as it's presented on screen here. It was done better in Ace Ventura. I mean, it's not... It's stupid, and then you run out there, and then Wahlberg somehow takes the ball to the face. It's one contrived thing after another, which I'm not looking for realism in a comedy per se, but I'm looking for something that, especially if you're going to keep breaking it up to give me these heartfelt moments or quasi-heartfelt moments where you want me to take these people seriously on top of it. So right. It's just... tonally was all over the place.
But you can't. And why are they both the straight man and not the straight man all at the same time?
Well, because they couldn't figure out who was going to be funny and who. And I think that might have been a clash of egos there. Maybe with Wahlberg not wanting to just be feeding the other guy the funny stuff. But even so, it was almost like Paul Hauser didn't really want. I've seen him be hilarious in that Queen Pins movie with Vince Vaughn and Kristen Bell. I thought he was great in that for a comedic role. But in this, I thought he was.
Well, they switch it up, right? I mean, it doesn't make any sense. His character is the straight guy, but then all of a sudden he's going to get drunk, and then he's not the straight guy. But then Mark Wahlberg's the guy who's not really a cut up, because he's supposed to be silver tongued, but then he's not, and he has no idea what the fuck's going on. He's an idiot. The movie's weird, right? The characters are not well defined, and I just didn't like it. They could have done without the heartfelt stuff that should be cut out.
Yeah, it was
entirely, and I don't know.
Like I said, it really lost its momentum. To see Molly Shannon in the beginning there, I thought this is great casting, and it lost its balls, for lack of a better word, real quick.
Yeah, well.
All right, next up, let's talk about War Machine, Netflix's Alan Richardson starring Predator ripoff. Let's call it what it is here. This is Patrick Hughes, I should say, the guy who we really liked, coming off Expendables 3, and then had a hit with Hitman's Bodyguard, and then a flop with Hitman's Bodyguard 2, is now doing Netflix stuff. If you really want to see his good work, watch Red Hill. It's his first film that he ever did, and thus far, between that and Expendables 3, nothing he's done has shown any sort of, I don't know, remarkable. Everything's been forgettable since Expendables 3, and I would put War Machine in that. Not a terrible waste of your time, but nothing that you haven't. Was there anything in this movie that surprised you? This is what I was when I watched this movie, and I watched it while I was working out, so I wasn't paying 100% attention to it as I'm watching it and doing other things too. But it couldn't. I'm listening to scenes I'm not even watching, and it's like, yep, it's a beat sheet. It's what I felt like on this. Here's the plot point. Here's the plot point. Did you find any of this to be intriguing at all? I mean, besides the visuals here and there, did you find anything?
No, even the visuals are nothing special.
It's a totally forgettable experience.
Yeah. I mean, it's just a noisy movie, is it? Right? It's not even that, really. I don't know. It doesn't make a hell of a lot of sense either, what they do. In it doesn't make any sense. The thing is super slow. You could outrun it. They could be gone. And I just don't. The movie is what it is, I guess. It's a giant robot thing. They're fighting it.
It wants to be Predator so bad. This movie, and
it has the whole. It has very similar scenes to it. They try to build up the military camaraderie in a similar way, but it doesn't work, right? Because it's not a Predator. This is more like the Predator spaceship from the new Predator.
I was going to say that this is more of a Predator movie than Predator Badlands is.
No, it's not.
I would say it's closer.
Not even close. No, because this isn't a Predator movie at all. It just wants to be a Predator. Actually, I don't know that this wants to be a Predator movie. This wants to be like the first Predator movie.
with the male,
it doesn't really want to
bonding.
be a Predator movie, to be fair. It just, because this thing's not, well, I guess it has like the laser things.
Yeah,
but,
there's some things that are close.
that's about it. Well, it's not a Predator movie, though.
Well, and the guys that are kicking ass, and now they found their match. And, but in the buddy, the Dirty Dozen aspect of it, I mean...
Yeah, well, I think the military part of it is what makes it attempt to be most like the original Predator movie.
You said noise.
But
This is what this is. It's just noise. It's just a streaming tile, and
it's just not very good. And there's a moment in it where it's cliffhanger. It's weird, right?
that pissed me off when I did that.
Why they took a time out to be like, okay, now we're gonna be cliffhanger.
Yeah, I know.
Okay.
Since we've been ripping off a Schwarzenegger
why
movie,
are we wasting time doing this?
It's like Predator. It's like Aliens. It's like Cliffhanger. Someone's like Cliffhanger. Where the fuck did that one get in there? Don't worry, we'll make it work.
I don't know. It's just not a very good movie, and you can kind of feel that that's kind of what they were pitching, what they were doing. Let's just make a movie, get this out there. It's it's kind of a perfect streaming movie because it doesn't do anything, right? Like it's non-offensive. It's
mundane.
Just a thing. It's noise. People would watch it and go, yeah. You could see a lot of people I've talked to thought it was pretty good.
Yeah, of course they are.
Okay, but they're never going to watch it again, right? They're never going to think about it again. They just saw it. They had their moment. It's kind of a perfect streaming movie in that sense.
Like I said, I watched it when I was working out, so I can't say that I even sat down to watch it because it wasn't even that interesting.
Yeah, I tuned out and was half watching it and doing other things too. So in that sense, yeah, it's a perfect streaming movie, But it's a big problem with this kind of stuff, right? Because this is well made, or I shouldn't say well made. There's money put into it, but it's a TV movie. This is how you would watch a TV movie back in the day. This is a fucking sci-fi channel movie, right? That they put all this money and effort into. It just seems, I don't know, wasteful and not as fun. If this was cheesier, it'd be more fun.
Yeah, if it had Antonio Sabato Jr. or Don the Dragon Wilson in the starring role, I could have dug its vibe a little bit more. But
well, if they just made it so that the person whoever these guys had to make this had to think outside the box a little bit. You had to eat up time, had to do something that was that didn't. They weren't told yes to everything they wanted to do, basically, right? Like, you have to make this movie, but here's the constraints on you, right? It's a piece of shit movie. Right, so we're not giving you a lot of money. Then it would be more interesting, I think. I don't know. And
well, just like Balls Up, it's another movie with no personality and nothing memorable.
Basically, yeah.
And
it's a little too polished of a turd, Like I like my turds unpolished.
Well, it's been a while since I watched it too, and it's almost completely evaporated from my mind of like, outside of a couple scenes here and there. That's how inconsequential the whole fucking thing was. And I dedicated 2 hours to watching it, so I think that's my review right there. Let's move on to some nicer passers here, something more positive. And surprisingly, one of the better movies I've seen this year is Solo Mio. This is the Kevin James, independently produced, distributed by Angel Studios. I think some people thought this was going to be a faith-based film because it wasn't produced by Angel Studios. It was just distributed by their distribution arm. Independently produced, so it's not overtly faith-based, but it's wholesome. Is kind of the best way to say that. In that, you could watch this with your family and not be embarrassed for anybody. A story about a guy who gets jilted at the altar, but decides to go on his Italian honeymoon, and the people he meets along the way, and the adventures they get in. And I didn't realize how much I like Kevin James. As I'm watching this, his acting when he gets jilted is it's good. I felt for him in that moment, and it's important because if you don't feel for him in that moment, the rest of the movie doesn't work. And I felt the person I'm watching it with. It was like, this is really a good movie, and I thought so too. It's a nice. If it was in the mid '90s, it would be totally average. But since we don't get these kind of movies anymore, and star-driven vehicles that are fun and are actually positive and don't hate people, which I think a lot of fucking comedies do. They actually hate the people. Like, we're talking about Balls Up. I feel like that comedy hated those two guys, that they were not particularly nice to them. This is just a good movie, and I highly recommend to cleanse your palate, check out Solo Mio. And I know you're a Kevin James guy, right? You like him as a comedian and actor.
Yeah, he's good.
You have any interest in this one? Are you a romantic comedy connoisseur?
I mean, I'll probably see this at some point, but
It's well done. It really is. It's better than you would expect it to be. And there's some visual, some interesting cutting. You know, there's one part where I'm not giving away anything, but he meets somebody, and now they cut to the apartment door opening, and you hear this rustling around, and you're like, oh shit, they're about to have a sex scene in this movie, and then you realize it's him drunk trying to get off his clothes, and you're like, okay, this is funny, you know, like, so I just, you know, if that doesn't make you laugh, maybe it's not your movie. So all right, tell me about Hail Mary, Project Hail Mary, because I've heard unanimously good things about this, even for people that read the book that were upset about some changes that were made. I have no interest or no info on this going in. So as a newbie, will I like this movie?
I don't know.
Okay.
But it was. I thought it was a really great movie. I've heard some complaints that it's a 2.5 hour long movie. It is slow, and I've heard complaints. People got bored, and I don't blame them. I mean, that'll happen with a 2.5 hour long movie that's slow. Remember, he goes to space. And then he's in space, you know, and then he fucks around with an alien for a while. It's as much of a character piece as it is, you know, an action movie. It's something that he's doing, right? It's about him as well, and his relationship with the alien. And the movie is told in flashbacks, which I don't know how the book is written, but I think because the whole thing, if I can imagine this being linear, it would be super fucking boring. Like, it would be really bad because he's on a spaceship. He's all by himself. You know, I don't want to give it. Well, he's all by himself. I already gave it away. The other people die, so he's alone. He meets the alien thing. All the aliens' friends that came with him are dead too. So they're both alone, and they have to figure this all out. But they're just kind of out there in space, and so a lot of it is just him kind of acclimating to space and getting used to it, because he's just woken up from being in the coma. You know, they put him in an induced coma so that they could travel out to this star. I don't know if you want to know.
No, don't tell me any more spoilers.
Watch it.
I will watch it.
I don't want to tell you anything about it. It's really not. The science isn't super interesting, to be honest with you, even though people make a big deal about it. It's kind of like you hear it, you go, yeah, like that's basic science fiction, right? It doesn't really sound that amazing. But I won't ruin it for you. But basically, so that's all going on. And while that's happening, he's remembering how he got there, right? He's like, because he's been in the coma, and so his brain's is all screwed up. He doesn't remember who he is at first. He doesn't know like why he's there. But he starts figuring it out. He starts remembering how he got there and things. So in order to break up, you know, the boringness of the space travel, which isn't, I don't think, boring, but as far as like excitement goes, right? They cut back to him being on Earth and him being prepared, and them figuring it out, and that's where you learn some of the science as to what's happening and all that. So I really enjoyed the movie. I thought that the alien guy was pretty cool. It's wholesome, as you said, with Solomio. This is also like a wholesome sci-fi, kind of a family movie. And it's about a guy, you know, saving the Earth and doing his thing. I don't know.
How are the visuals? I mean, is it beautiful to look at?
Yeah, it's wonderful. The visuals are great. They have the weird alien spaceship and stuff, and all the things. Star that they're at. They go to the planet. They fuck around all in space, you know.
Well, the way you described
it looks great on the big screen.
With the two lone survivors of a different species or whatever, it reminded me of Enemy Mine. Remember that movie? The Dennis Quaid, Louis Gossett Jr.?
It is kind of.
That's what it kind of sounded like when you said
they
that.
They don't have a baby in this one.
Thank God. But still, that was a great movie. When I was a kid, it was a great movie, and I think it was underrated.
It was an interesting movie, yeah.
Yeah, it's weird how that's kind of lost to time. There's not much of a cult following for that, I don't think. You never really hear people mention it.
Not like there is for things like Last Starfighter or something like that.
Yeah.
But I would put this more in line with Last Starfighter, you know, as far as how you feel about the accomplishments of what they're doing. Like, it is like Enemy Mine that they're both there, but instead of the accomplishment being they survived and, you know, fucked, the accomplishment is that they, survived and they saved their planets.
Yeah, Enemy Mine does have a Blue Lagoon type vibe to it too. It's very, very strange. Like it's basically.
And then they have the kid. The kid's fucking weird. And then they lose the kid. They gotta go get. It's a fucking weird movie, man.
Yeah, like I said, reminds me of Enemy Mine. But remember when movies could be weird like that? I mean, there's just some fucking. They take chances like that. That's a big swing. I mean, you would never see something like that in today's movies. That's a big, big swing.
Yeah. Well, I don't know.
All right, let's talk about Mercy. Lord have it. Chris Pratt sitting in a chair for 90 minutes as he does computer work. I mean, this is what fucking passes for a movie. In Mercy, the latest from him and Rebecca Ferguson from Amazon Studios, directed by the guy who did Wanted and Abraham Lincoln, Vampire Hunter. So, take what you want from that. I actually think it's not terribly made. It's just Minority Report for dumb people. For people that don't have the attention span to sit through the Spielberg film, you have this. And it's so similar in some respects that I'm surprised they got away with making this. And I don't know if this script was on the blacklist or what it was, the most liked unproduced scripts, because I'm sure, once again, it reads well, because on paper, this probably sounds great and snappy little dialogue here and there, and condensed all within a running time of 90 minutes, which the film takes place in. But what are we doing here with the movies where people are just staring at screens? I got so bored. And the director tries everything he can do in the first 10 minutes to keep it visually exciting and the energy going. But after 20 minutes of this, it's just, we're going through the paces here. And is there ever any suspense in this movie at all on any level? Was there any intrigue to the mystery that they're presenting? No. This is one of the worst movies of the year, and it pains me to say that because I like Pratt, I like Ferguson, and I like the filmmaker, but what we have here is a colossal waste of money and of my time. Surprised this even made it to theaters. This should have gone out to street. This is on the level of War Machine to me, in terms of, just being a non-entity. Or a non-starter. Am I being too harsh?
No, you could be harsher. I mean, I don't even know that I would say this is on the level of War Machine. I think I could rewatch War Machine. This is really bad. I like detective movies, and that aspect of this is cool, but it kind of it's just not very good, right? Like the mystery, the problem solving, the way he goes about finding it. It's a cool idea, right? But it's not. It just, I don't know. It's not the character is like too weenie, The guy's like doesn't take control. It's just not very good at what he does. I don't know. I just wish that I wish it was a different movie, I guess. I don't know. I didn't like it. It was boring. By the time it gets to the big ending, it doesn't make a lot of sense. The Rebecca Ferguson AI thing just... I don't know. I don't get
goes rogue.
How it changes, how it just decides to to all of a sudden it's going to... It likes people, I guess. I don't know what the hell it's doing. I don't get it.
It's believing him all of a sudden.
I just don't think it's very well written. Yeah, why would it why wouldn't it just do what it's supposed to do? Why what does it change? Why for him? Why not for some other person? Why not for a bad person? Can it be like, "Oh, I'll let you go, you murderer"? The whole thing makes no sense. So yeah, I guess the reason is because it's going to be killed. It's going to be blown up. I don't know. It's a terrible movie.
I mean, it's fairly early in the year, but overall, I would say that this is the leading contender for me for worst movie that I've seen. Theatrical release.
It's pretty bad.
Yeah, this goes on my.
Did this come out in theaters?
Yeah, this came out in January in movie theaters.
Yeah, I swear I thought this was a straight to streaming.
Well, rightly.
That's how bad it was. That's how I thought.
Rightly so. That just goes to show what we're dealing with, and then they wonder why theaters, in the early part of the year, can't get people out to see things.
I couldn't imagine watching this in a theater. Yeah,
I was fairly bored watching it at home.
I'd give you a worse review than than watching it at home.
I'm tired of watching movies with people watching screens. It's fucking getting old. It's no longer
I just
novel.
watched I just watched The Big Sleep not too long ago, and that movie is not wildly exciting, but incredibly engrossing. And so there's no reason you can't make a movie about a detective guy like this, and have it be good. There's just no reason. But it's just not good, right? It's too reliant on, I don't know, the concept for them to actually come up with a good thing. Like, the person hiding in the whole plot, I think, is just stupid.
I mean, not to compare The Big Sleep to Return to the Blue Lagoon, but I was telling you off air that I happened to watch that for the first time in 30-something years, and the first 25 minutes of that are better constructed, better written and filmed and scored than the entirety of Mercy. So,
yeah,
there you go. And it's a movie that's 35 years old.
Yeah.
Okay, let's move on. Let's beat the shit out of that one. It's time to move on.
It's no Mortal Kombat Annihilation. All right, let's just leave it at that.
Oh my god, I still think you've had a stroke on the air and you don't know what you're saying. Somebody needs to help.
I haven't
this
seen
man.
it in a long time. Hey, look, it's not like the first Mortal Kombat was well received. So
I thought that was a massive hit. I thought everybody loved the first Mortal Kombat. I thought it was universally loved. No,
they don't by far. No.
Oh shit. Well,
no.
I guess different parts of the area.
But it's
well,
it would depend on who you talk to. Yeah, that's for sure.
We can all agree though that the Street Fighter movie with Chun-Li with Kristen Kreuk.
Nope, we can't. It was amazing.
God awful.
Was really good. I know. I liked it.
She didn't even like it. She's in the fucking movie. Okay. Let's move. I mean, that movie's so fucking stupid. The dude who plays Liu Kang in the Mortal Kombat movie appears in that movie for some reason. Like it's like hey, look who we got. And you're like, what? This doesn't even make fucking sense. Okay, speaking of Street Fighter, let's get the elephant in the room out. This is Street Fighter. The trailer dropped this week from Cinecon, and out of the two movies, the Mortal Kombat 2 and the Street Fighter, this trailer is amazing. I can't fucking wait. I don't know if it's going to be an absolute debacle because it very could be, but this trailer is cut perfectly.
Look at the storyline of this trailer it lays out, though. It's fucking perfect. And the casting, the bad guys, this is like a Dick Tracy Batman style fucking,
well done. Well said.
DC, fucking Marvel, right? This thing looks, and on top of that, just watching this trailer, you can see some of the combo moves and the fighting. You're like, how the fuck does that actually look good? How did they pull this off? I'm kind of blown away. I would have thought that this cartoony kind of look just wouldn't work, but it works completely here.
Not only that, the little sidebars here when they showed him punching the car, doing the damage on the car, those little side quest kind of things. When Blanco is grabbing him, or is it who's the Russian cat? Is it not Blanco? The guy that's grabbing him.
That's the green guy. You're thinking of.
I'm talking about the Russian cat who grabs the dude, and he's got Ken, and he's gonna slam him into the cab.
What's that guy's?
I can't think of his name. The Russian cat, but regardless,
Zangief.
Thank you.
Zangief.
But everybody looks cast to perfection here, including 50 Cent. Yeah. I can't wait to see this movie. I wish this was out right now and they pushed back Mortal Kombat 2 to October. But I predict that this is going to be the bigger of the two in terms of box office gross.
By far.
And this looks like it's going to be well received here. I mean, it might not be any Mortal Kombat Annihilation, but it looks like it might be damn good.
Well, not many movies are, but
not even Top Gun Maverick was.
This is going to be big. I just think it's obvious. This trailer is just holy shit.
What grabs you the most in this trailer? Is it the visual? Is it the trailer that's cut this way?
The visuals, the music, the story, all of it. The whole thing works. The whole thing works. So I think as a movie, I think it's gonna work.
I hope it's not a bait and switch though, where it's totally focused on something else and it's not really what it's portraying. I don't think it could be, but there might be a possibility. You never know with this kind of shit because
there's so many characters. It could get bogged down. That is possible.
This is one of the better cut trailers I've seen in quite a while. And the last one I was thinking of like this that we saw that we both were like, oh my God, that trailer was cut so well was, do you remember the Wonder Woman 84 trailer that was cut beautifully? And then that fucking turkey that we got, it was like, ooh. So,
yeah. Well.
But having said that, I was not a big fan of Noah Centineo being cast as Rambo or even as Ken in this movie. But based on this trailer, this is good casting. He is good.
Yeah, everyone looks the part. Everyone acts the part.
Nobody seems
I think
above
people.
it.
No, everyone seems to be in the moment, but I think being cartoony kind of probably helps people get into that moment of actually being in that character, because you're weird, like Giles' hair, like everyone, just everybody looks like the damn character. They look like they stepped out of the arcade machine.
I hate to say this because the whole AI of it all, but it almost looks like an AI.
I know.
Generated movie, doesn't it? Like in a sense, like it looks so spot on and so perfect that it looks like somebody did this in Sonos and or whatever that is, and just sent it out. And you're like, what the fuck? Because it's perfect in a lot of ways.
It's weird looking because it's cartoony. They've somehow they've avoided that uncanny valley thing where you're going to go super cartoony with something. But then it looks real. You're like, yeah, that universe exists where those people are real and they exist there. That's what this looks like.
You brought up...
not this universe, but it's like, what the fuck? How is that possible? How can you do that?
You brought up Suicide
Great
Squad
art direction.
And it looking like that.
This is almost... This trailer even plays like the Suicide Squad trailer with the music and everything. And that movie, I love that movie, but it's not what that trailer was. So, again... This could just be really good, a really good trailer cutting marketing team here.
Also, you know what it kind of reminded me of, and this might not bode well for some people, but I love this movie, is Speed Racer. It had a vibe of Speed Racer to me, and that hyper cartoon realism mixing the two. It does. And
Speed Racer was able to do the cartoon thing and have it be that universe and have it work.
Which I love that movie. I think you're a fan of it too, if I recall.
Yeah, and it's because it's got I think the new 4K. Did it just come out or is coming out? It's being released in theaters.
Really?
Yep, it's got a big up there because it has a small cult following.
I have to admit that I saw it on IMAX late at night solo on some mushrooms when I first saw it, and it was fucking amazing. I have to be honest. I came out of that movie like, whoa, that was an experience, and I was telling people how good it was, and then I've never rewatched it because I don't ever want it to just. I own it on Blu-ray.
I rewatched it recently, and it's good. It's not amazing.
Well, it was on mushrooms, man.
Well, it has flaws, but I remember really liking it too when it first came out, but watching it again later on, I don't know. It is a flawed movie, but it is better than, probably better than they could do. If they were to make a Speed Racer movie today, they'd probably fuck it up, you know?
It felt alive, and that wasn't just the psilocybin. That was the vibe of the movie. It had an energy to it.
It's so hard to do those cartoony movies and make them real, you know, I think. They've tried to in the past. You can think of like things. Well, there were straight cartoons as well, like the Flintstones and stuff, and that really worked. The Flintstones works. Like they created a universe there that feels right. So I guess art direction would be costuming. Art direction is probably the most important part of that look of making that work.
Well, there was a time too when every fucking old show or cartoon was being updated. I remember Yogi Bear, Alvin and the Chipmunks. It was like all that kind of stuff. Yeah, and
sometimes they work. I like the Yogi Bear movie, but it's not fucking doesn't. I mean, where are we going with like the Smurfs and shit? Like none of that shit works, right? Alvin and the Chipmunks. Yeah, none of that's all super cheap and doesn't really work. That's a kid's stuff.
I think Justin Timberlake would rather you forget about Yogi Bear. Thank you very much.
Hey, I liked Yogi Bear.
He doesn't want you mentioning that by law. He's got lawsuits out there.
It's not a great movie, but it was all right.
Better than the Alvin and the Chipmunks movies, to be fair.
Did what it did. Yeah, I liked it better than that, and Hop, and
Garfield, and all that shit, yeah.
The Garfield movies, yeah, and all that stuff. Those were all super cheap, you know, basically Stuart Little movies.
Yeah, basically. Which, shit, those movies are almost 30 years old now. Crazy to say. When those, in the end, the effects on those were way ahead of its time because those still hold up pretty well.
First, if anyone has any care to watch them, the first Stuart Little movie is actually pretty decent for being a kids movie like that. but the special effects are like, holy shit, when did this come out, right? They look super good.
Yeah, they really hold up still. Okay, let's talk about Resident Evil, the latest adaptation of the video game. Another second video game movie. Third we're talking about on the show tonight. This time from Zach Krieger. Is he writing and directing this one, or is he just producing it? Is this like a...
Yeah.
He wrote and directed this?
Yeah, along with other writers, of course. But yes.
But he's not like executive producing and just throwing his name on some slop like Jordan Peele did with him, where he wasn't really involved. He just attached his name for...
I don't know. Is he
to bump it up
producing
here.
This?
But this trailer, I mean, what do you think? You go first because you're the expert with this horror genre. Is he writing and directing? He's
not executive producer. He's just producing. I thought this trailer looks pretty good. It doesn't feel like. Does it feel like a game? Yeah, it does feel more like one of the later games. But it obviously doesn't feel like any of the other Resident Evil movies, right? It feels more like a Silent Hill movie.
I was just gonna say that. Yep.
Which isn't a bad thing, I guess. It just doesn't. I don't know. Maybe the other Resident Evil movies is time to move on from them because they didn't necessarily. They kind of became their own thing, their own beast, if you will. And this feels more like a return, maybe to what the gameplay was really like.
I never played the video game, so that's no point of reference for me. I only have the Mila Jovovich movies to go off of, and then the sequel series that they did, which was god-awful, and then that movie that they did a couple years ago that was not very good either.
The Raccoon City thing was okay, yeah.
This is okay. But the original series was, like I said, it kind of got off on its own thing. It became like Underworld.
I love the original series, but it's ridiculous by the end of it. But
it's ridiculous by the second film, let's be honest here. But it's fun.
It is. Oh, it's super. By the end of it, it's basically a soap opera. At the end, is the way I looked at it.
You're right.
So it was more like a TV show soap opera thing, and I loved it, to be honest with you. But it is, it is what it is, and so this feels more. I don't want to say. How would you put it? This just feels more intense, I guess. More.
It feels more contained, is what this feels like to me.
Lived in, yeah. It's like it's not a soap opera.
But
it's actually meant to be
the shit in the trailer with
a horror film.
The fucking wong, like that's not part of the film. That's just that's a sound effect, a fucking musical cue, and that does nothing here but just warn us that we're watching a horror trailer. Because the first 45 seconds of this fucking trailer, nothing's happening, and then he goes down a hole and sees somebody who looks kind of out of place. It looks like out of a fucking Blade movie, and then that's that. So I didn't see much here that would draw me.
That's the guy from Dune, right?
That's what it looked like, fucking Baron Harkonnen. But it's like House Harkonnen back there, and I don't. Nothing about this trailer would draw me in as a novice to the franchise, except for the name Zach Krieger, based on Barbarian and Weapons.
But as a movie, what do you think of it?
It looks like a Silent Hill movie, like you said. I'm more interested in rewatching Silent Hill 1 than rewatching this. It also kind of reminded me of Quiet Place. I don't know why, but the guy running, from in the city, or I Am Legend-ish. It's I've seen these Walking Dead type shit. This is going to have to do something really intriguing to start a new franchise, and it must have something up its sleeve, or why else would they produce this? Like they wouldn't just.
Well, I think just it's a return to form as far as like zombie stuff goes. So I think it'll do well. It looks pretty good.
Looks like it was cheap to produce.
I definitely want to go see it. It doesn't look cheaply produced.
Well, I mean, it looks like it's fucking one guy running around. It's like it's not like the last
there's tons of money on this screen. I don't know about that. Like, there's a lot of money here in this movie. But I don't know. You kind of have to do the lone survivor thing. It's kind of what the games are, right? You meet up with other people. I don't know what that's going to be in this movie or not. I don't know what the hell this is. But the Silent Hill is the same way.
If they don't have that little bitch from the Umbrella Corporation with a little fucking English attitude, I don't want to deal with it. It doesn't look
like that's part of this. That's why I'm saying this is like, I guess this must be later on in the games. I don't know. There's too many of them. I didn't play them.
Yeah, I didn't follow it. Like I said, I never followed it
So
down
I
the
can't
rabbit hole.
say where it is. I know the first game. That's about it. And this obviously isn't that. So I don't know what this is, but I think it looks pretty good. I don't know. I watch it.
I'll default to your opinion because you're the expert in the genre, but this isn't doing anything. This did not excite me the way that Street Fighter did. So,
Oh, for sure.
bit of a come down there.
I'm not gonna compare apples to oranges here, though. Street Fighter gives you goosebumps, man. Street Fighter. By the time that trailer's over, I'm hyped. And I watched it again just before this podcast, and I was like, "Oh yes!"
I know it's fun. I
So that's something else altogether. As far as like a Resident Evil movie goes, this looks pretty good, and could possibly spawn more. But as you say, it's not anything spectacular. I think the one thing about the original Resident Evil movies, as I just said, they kind of became a soap opera. The characters kind of, I don't know, took over and made that franchise continue on just to some sort of an end. That really wouldn't happen here. But then we had 28 Days Later, which for some reason, they made a sequel. And then for some reason later on, they made 2 other sequels. And I can't figure out why the hell they made any sequels to that. So I don't, so what do I know,
I'm sure Paul Anderson, W.S. Anderson, is very upset that they're fucking with this because this was his magnum opus in a lot of ways, this franchise.
Well,
and it's what established him. And he isn't really, he's still making films, but they're not being seen on the level they were of his Resident Evil movies because those were all huge, especially worldwide, huge hits. Like 300 million outside the U.S. is huge.
Well, this is still in widescreen, so he'll be happy about that.
Thank God. He gets his wide shot. All right, last movie on tonight's episode is going to be Motor City. This is Alan Richardson starring in a film that purportedly has no dialogue or very minimal dialogue in it.
Is that what it is?
Yes, and a revenge thriller based on, set in 1970s, and it's a kind of a throwback to, reminds me of Faster. Remember that rock movie with Billy Bob Thornton? Kind of had a 70s vibe to a gritty grindhouse type vibe. Definitely what's going on here. I heard about this film years ago. Thomas Jane was talking about it on a podcast, saying it was the best script he had ever written or read, and he was hoping to find financing for it. Obviously, he fell out as part of the star package, maybe aged out of it, and they went with Richardson here, but Ben Foster looks great in the role. I mean, there's no dialogue to speak of in the trailer because of what I said about the movie's concept, but knowing that, what do you think here? I mean, I'm intrigued at least. I want to see this.
I don't know anything. I don't even know what this is about. The trailer tells you nothing. If you want to talk about what an AI trailer looks like, this is what an AI trailer looks like. I mean, and I'm not joking. This is what AI trailers look like. There's not even a common thread in a lot of this. None of it makes any sense. I have no idea what this is about. But as you say, there's no dialogue. Oh, maybe I get it a little bit more now why the trailer is so discombobulated and just... I don't know. Yeah, must be really hard to market. It could be a really great movie. I don't know. I fail to understand how you can't put a trailer together that would tell you a story. I don't even get it. I don't even know what the story is. Why is he in jail?
Shit, you tell me.
Fuck. So what's the what am I watching? What's happening? Actually, I'm reading the IMDb thing on this. None of this is in the trailer. It says 1970s Detroit, John Miller falls for a local gangster's girl. In retaliation, the gangster enacts a frame job to send the innocent man to prison. Life ruined, Miller plots a revenge campaign against the man who took his girl away. Who the fuck would know that from this trailer?
Well, it's got a $30 million budget, and it was on the 2009 blacklist. So it has been around since 2009. At one point, it was set to move forward, it says, with Albert Hughes directing and Chris Evans starring. That fell through. Then Dominic Cooper entered into the picture. Joel Silver was going to produce. That fell through. I mean, people like Jake Gyllenhaal, Gerard Butler have all been attached at one point or another. And then lastly, the guy who directed Mercy was going to direct this with Richardson, but apparently he dropped out too. So the movie purportedly, from Ben Foster, revealed that there are only 5 lines of dialogue in the entire thing.
Well, it's possible by this point they finally get the movie made. It's probably under budget. It might not be as good as it could have been, right?
Yeah.
That'd be my only worry about it, I guess, at this point. But I don't even know what the hell to think of it. I definitely would watch it. I like the cast. I like the idea, but the trailer, I don't think this is going to make any money because this is not selling itself at all in any way whatsoever. This is like you have to be in the know to even know what the fuck this is.
Yeah, this is going to be a big leap of faith for audiences here. Interesting sidebar, it says here in 2013, Warner Brothers had incarnation of Motor City. That was Gerard Butler. And Butler sued Randall Emmett and Emmett Furla Productions for $5.1 million for breach of contract. He claimed that he had a pay-or-play deal that would give him $4 million if the movie was ever made or not. And he had turned down other offers and apparently pushed back the shooting of Olympus Has Fallen so he could make this movie. And then apparently Butler did not get any sort of money out of that outfit, which is notorious for fucking people over. I mean, that Emmett Furla, and those guys are always making they made a lot of those Bruce Willis direct-to-DVD movies, very, very cheaply made. But I'm interested, because I don't know who Potsy Ponzarelli is, the guy who directed this, but fuck it, I'm down.
Isn't that like from Happy Days or something?
No, yeah, that's Fonzie Fonzarella. But apparently this guy, as of last year, it was reported that he was tapped to write the sequel for The Goonies for Warner Brothers.
What else has he done? Oh,
and he directed that movie.
Thank God.
You know what? He wrote and directed that movie, Old Henry. Did you ever watch that? With
no, I know what that is, but I never saw it.
Dude, that's a fucking decent movie to watch, for real. That's a strangely violent movie out of nowhere.
Oh, wait. It's just okay. I did see this.
Yes, that was a good movie.
And this is good.
Yeah.
Yeah, 100%. It was Tim Blake Nelson.
Thank you. I could not think of his name.
And actually, Stephen Dorff is in this movie, too.
I just kept thinking the Soggy Bottom Boys, and from Oh Brother, Where Art Thou?
Yeah, I want to second that. I forgot about this fucking movie. I watched it with my dad. This is a solid fucking Western.
I know. I was very, very surprised at this movie. It's
really good.
Highly overlooked, and I don't understand why. Maybe because it doesn't have a big star in it, but and very violent.
Nah, but I mean, Tim Blake Nelson is a really good Western guy.
And Stephen Dorff's in that movie too, if I recall. We were talking
Stephen
about him
Dorff's in it. Yeah. Yeah, he's surprisingly good with a gun.
He is.
What was the other one?
The Ballad of Buster Scruggs and all that.
Buster Scruggs or whatever. Yeah, he was really good in that too.
Yeah, he looks like he would have been living in that era.
He does. He looks like he fucking just came out of a gold mine or some shit, you know?
Yep.
I don't know, but yeah, that is a solid
coming out of a gold mine.
I forgot about that. Okay, well, maybe I'm a little more excited about Motor City now.
There you go. I mean, that motherfucker does look like he's been panhandling for gold all day. You know?
He does. Come out in his fucking dirty overalls and shit, coming in with his mule.
Hey,
like,
Paul.
Look at this fucking guy.
When's supper ready, Paul?
Yeah, that looks like he's been sleeping with some pigs and shit. I don't know.
Seriously, I can smell it from here in fucking picture. But yeah, Old Henry, if you guys have it, if you get anything from this podcast, check out Old Henry, because that's probably one of the better movies that we talked about tonight. Although I didn't see Greedy People. Did you ever watch that? That was the second film.
No, I did not.
Joseph Gordon-Levitt movie.
I know what that one is, but I didn't see it either.
Yeah, I never watched it either.
Maybe I should now. No, maybe it's a good time.
There you go. I don't even know if that's available anywhere, but
I know, that's what I was just thinking. Maybe there's a reason I never saw it.
Yeah, I think it came out straight to streaming. It might have been a token release, but it wasn't well received. Not like Old Henry was, which, like I said, if you haven't seen it, watch Old Henry, and I will be watching Motor City, because as much as you're a horror fan junkie, I'm an action film junkie, and this looks like it's at least going to be violent, and I'm all for that.
Yeah, it could be good. I like Alan Richardson, or whatever his name is, Richardson.
Yeah, whatever. It's whatever you. It's like Christopher Reeves.
Guy?
I don't know.
I do like him a lot, so I would definitely watch it. I'm just saying, I don't think this will be a strong player for them at all, because this trailer is not good, man. Not a good trailer.
This is probably going to be one of those movies like Boondock Saints that does nothing in the theater and then it becomes a word of mouth.
There you go. It could actually very well be something like that, yeah.
Yeah. Well, that's going to wrap up tonight's episode. We want to thank you guys for joining us, as always, for the Movie Mavericks podcast. You can check out our backlog on themoviemavericks.com, Podbean, Stitcher, Apple, wherever you're getting this. like, subscribe, all that kind of good stuff. We want to thank you guys for joining us as always. Speaking for Trevor Anderson, I'm Jason Rugard, and we are the Movie Mavericks.
Oh my, another magnificent episode has come to an end. If you're craving more, set your destination to MovieMavericks.com, Warp 9. Engage!